All right, so good afternoon, everyone. Once again, we will going to discuss simple and compound machines. Though na-discuss na natin to, I think last meeting natin, no? So, we'll just have a recap. Meron lang ako mga hindi na-discuss, no? Kaya i-discuss ko ulit itong simple and compound machines. So this is the content standard of our discussion. So the efficiency of simple and compound machines can be improved by applying basic physics principles. So guys, yung mga machines natin na medyo technical or medyo maganda na machine natin. So sila ay nanggaling sa application ng basic simple machines. So yung mga compound machine natin na alam natin ngayon, mga complex machine natin. So lahat yon is an application of simple machines. So ito ang learning competency natin. So we need to apply the concept of translational and rotational motion. So again, andito pa rin tayo sa discussion natin na translational and rotational motion kasi nga guys, yung mga simple machines or any other machines na alam natin, whether it's a complex or a compound machines, so meron silang application ng translational and rotational motion. That's why they are working. So these are built, sabi dito, prototypes of efficient, simple, and compound machines. So yung basis ng pagkagawa ng mga simple or compound machines is naka-base dito sa rotational and translational motions. So for our lessons objectives, we will have to differentiate between simple and compound machine. So ano pagkakaiba nitong dalawa? And we also need to explain how translational and rotational motions apply to machine efficiency and analyze how basic physics principles improve the efficiency of machines. And design and build a working prototype of a compound machine using a concept of machine and efficiency. Let's proceed to the definitions of a machine, simple machines, and compound machines. So, yung machine is a tool consisting of one or more parts that is constructed to achieve a particular goal. Tandaan natin na, take note of this, no? These are the tool used, no, that has a one or more parts, no, that will help us to do work more easily, no? So again, ang machine ay kahit na anumang kagamitan o devices na tumutulong upang mapadali ang ating mga trabaho. So instead of using a large amount of force, so machine help us save effort and time. So for examples, we have a bicycle. So a bicycle will help us travel faster than walking. So that's why bicycle is considered as a simple machine. So a simple machine naman, it says here that is a mechanical device that changes the direction of the magnitude of a force. So take note, ang mga simple machine changes, pinapalitan ang direction or size of a force. So, ang mga simple machine ay may mga simpleng disenyo o simple design, but malaki ang tulong sa paggawa ng mga task or trabaho. So, hindi ito binabawasan ang kabuuang trabaho, ngunit ginagawa nito yung mas madali ang paglalapat ng puwersa. So for example, so we have the ramp, we have the lever and the pulley. And sa compound machine naman natin, so this is the combination, no? So a compound machine consists of two or more simple machine working together. So ibig sabihin, yung compound machine, pinagsama mo yung dalawang simple machine, pinagsama mo together. Okay. And for example, kapag pinagsama mo ang dalawa o higit pang simpleng machine, so magiging compound machine, no? So, mas maraming gawain ang kayang gawin ng compound machine dahil pinagsama nila yung mga benefits ng iba't ibang simple machine. So, for example, ng mga compound machine natin is yung bicycles, o meron tayong mga scissors. So, yung bicycle, hindi lang isang machine na makikita natin doon. So, ang scissor naman, hindi lang simple machine na makikita natin doon. Puwede rin yung can opener as an example. Again, the simple machines are the building blocks of more complex machines. So, merong mga complex machine dahil merong mga simple machine. So, lahat ng mga komplikadong makina sa paligid natin ay nagsisimula sa anim na simple machine na ito na i-discuss natin. So kapag naintindihan natin ang mga simple machine na to, which is meron tayong anim na six simple machines, so mas madali nating maunawaan kung paano gumagana ang mga modernong kagamitan. So these are the six simple machines. So we have the inclined plane, we have the screw, so we have the wedge, meron din tayong lever and pulley and wheel and axle. So ang bawat simple machine ay nagbibigay ito ng mechanical advantages. So ibig sabihin, mas konting puwersa ang kailangan upang magawa ang isang task or dapat gawin. Now, let's begin with the first one. We have the inclined planes. So an inclined plane is a flat surface that is higher on one end. So ito nakikita natin. Take note flat surface siya pero yung isa mas mataas. Yung one end niya mataas. Inclined plane makes the work of moving things easier. So, para mas mapadali yung paggalaw ng mga bagay-bagay. So, sa halip na buhatin mo ng diretso ang isang mabigat na bagay, so maaari kang gumamit ng ramp, no? Mas mahaba ang daan, ngunit mas maliit ang pwersa na gagamitin mo. Okay? So, for example, we have the wheelchair ramps, mga loading ramps, mga staircases, no? So, less force, longer distance. So, sa screw naman, so screw is a mechanism that converts rotational motion to a linear motion. So, application na to ng rotational and translational motions. And a torque to a linear force. So, it is one of the six classical simple machines, and the most common form consists of a cylindrical shaft with helical grooves or ridges called threads around outside. Now, ang screw naman again, a screw is a inclined plane wrapped around a cylinder. So, kapag iniikot natin ang screw, ang paikot na galaw o yung rotational motion ay nagiging tuwid na galaw or you call it a linear motion. For example natin yung light bulb, no? Na-try na natin siguro magpalit ng light bulb, no? Yung bottle cap, no? Magbubukas tayo ng mga soft drinks, di ba? Meron bottle cap doon. At saka yung mga wood screw. So yun ang mga example natin. So take note of this. So the tighter the threads, the easier it is to generate a strong force. So ibig sabihin kapag mas maliit ang pagitan ng mga thread ng screw, mas malaki ang mechanical advantages. So ibig sabihin, mas madaling maipapasok ang screw kahit matigas ang material. So ang mga real life example natin dito, we have the wood screw to in furniture assembly. So kaya ito yung mga ginagamit. Meron din tayong mga wedges or wedge. So, a wedge is what? Sabi dyan is a triangular shape, round tool, no? And a compound and portable inclined plane, and one of the six classical simple machine, and it can be used to separate two objects or portion of an object, lift an object, or hold an object in place. So again, ang wedge is made from two inclined planes joined together. So, usually ginagamit ang wedge upang hatiin o kaya putulin o ihiwalay ang mga bagay. So, kapag pinukpok ang wedge, no, ang pwersa ay napupunta doon sa magkabilang gilid. So, for example, yung knife. So, ito mga example natin to. Pwedeng knife, pwedeng we have axe, pwedeng nail. So, yun yung mga wedges. Next, let's proceed to the lever. So, a lever is a machine consisting of a beam or a rigid rod pivoted at a fixed hinge or fulcrum. So ano bang itong lever? So this is a rigid bar no that rotates around a pivot. Yung pivot tawag natin doon is a fulcrum. So ang lever ay nagpaparami ng puwersa. So technically upang mas madaling mabuhat o maigalaw ang isang bagay. So ang mga parts ng lever natin, so meron tayong tinatawag na fulcrum, meron tayong effort at meron tayong tinatawag na load. So, now, pag-usapan natin yung mga iba't ibang levers. So, So again, levers are classified based on the position of the fulcrum, the effort, and the load. Di ba ito yung sinabi ko sa inyo kanina, na ang lever ay merong tatlong parts, meron siyang fulcrum, so meron siyang effort, at meron siyang load. So, nagkakaiba-iba lamang yung mga levers. So, there are different types of levers. So, nagkakaiba-iba lang sila based doon sa location ng fulcrum, ng load, at ng effort. So, saan ba nakalagay? Saan ba yung location ng fulcrum? Saan, saan yung location ng load at ng effort? So, ang arrangement natin dito is effort, fulcrum, and then load. So, ito nakikita nyo, we have the effort, merong load, at meron yung fulcrum. So, nakikita nyo dito sa first class lever natin. Now, so the fulcrum is between the effort and the load. So dito sa first class, which is the lever first class. In a first class lever, the fulcrum is in the middle and the load and the effort is on either side. So think of the seesaw. So again, ang position ng fulcrum is nandito sa gitna. Yung effort at saka yung load parehas nasa gilid. So tulad ng mga seesaw, may crowbar. No, so kapag tinulak mo ang isang side ng seesaw pababa, aangat ang kabilang side. So binabago nito yung direction ng puwersa. So, yun ang ano. Meron din tayong another example dito yung plies o pliers. Plies ba to? So, these are an example of first class levers. No, so ang hinge ng pliers ay nagsisilbing fulcrum. So, yung hinge nitong plies na to, ito ay nagiging fulcrum. No, ang maliit na pwersa sa handle ay nagiging mas malaking pwersa sa dulo. Oh, so ito. Now let's proceed to the second lever class ng lever. So we have here in the second class level, the fulcrum is at the end with the load in the middle. So baliktad naman ito, ang load naman nasa gitna. So ang lever naman ay nasa dulo. So technically, we have the fulcrum. So, tapos load, nasa gitna yung load at yung effort nasa dulo. So, ang example natin dito, ito yung mga example natin. So, the wheelbarrow, we have the nutcracker. So, technically, yung second class lever, nag increase siya ng force. So, ito yung dahilan kung bakit kayang buhatin ng wheelbarrow ang mabibigat na karga gamit ang konting effort. So, tulad nito, kahit mabibigat ito, you only exert less effort in order to lift this heavy materials. Yan yung ano, because of this principle ng second lever class. So again, ang fulcrum nasa dulo, ang load nasa gitna, yung effort nasa dulo din. Let's proceed to the third class ng lever. So in the third class lever, the fulcrum is again at the end, but the effort is in the middle. So again, ang effort ay nasa middle, ang load ay nasa dulo, ang lever ay nasa dulo pa din, all the fulcrum. So again, fulcrum and then the effort and then the load. So nakikita nyo dito sa example natin. So yung third class levers increase the speed and the distance. So again, ini-increase yung distance at saka yung speed dito. So for example, ng mga lever na to is yung mga fishing rod o kaya mga tweezer. Ayan, mga nasa baba. Those are examples. No? So mas mabilis ang galaw, no? Pero mas malaking effort ang kinakailangan. So tulad nito, the human arm is the third class level, no? So ang siko natin yun ang magiging fulcrum, ang bicep mo naman so yun ang magiging effort at yung hawak na bagay ang load. So this one is the load. So ito ang dahilan kung bakit mas mabilis nating maigalaw ang ating mga kamay, no? And then what else? So we have the pulleys. So a pulley is a wheel with a rope used to lift a heavy loads. No. So, dito naman, so binabago ng pulley ang direksyon ng puwersa. So sa halip na buhatin pataas ang karga, maaari mo itong hilain pababa gamit ang lubid. So ang mga example natin, yung mga flagpole, we have the elevator. No, so a pulley is a wheel on an axle that is designed to support movement of a cable or belt along with uh, along its circumference. So, pulleys are used in a variety of ways to lift loads, apply forces, and to transmit the power. So, actually, we can use multiple pulleys increases mechanical advantages. Ibig sabihin, mas maraming pulley, mas maraming advantages ito. Now, kapag mas maraming pulley ang ginagamit, mas konting puwersa ang kailangan. So, less uh, less ang force upang mabuhat yung mga bagay na mabigat. So, ginagamit ito sa mga construction cranes, mga example natin. We have the wheel and axle. So this one naman, a wheel and axle is generally considered to be the wheel attached to an axle so that these two parts rotate together in which a force is transferred from one to another. No, again, so ang wheel and axle nagro-rotate siya together, no? Kapag pinaikot ang malaking wheel, no, napapaikot din ang maliit na axle. So ibig sabihin nagkakaroon ng mas malaking turning force o kaya torque. So, ang mga example natin dito is yung mga steering wheel and we also have the bicycle. So, kapag ini-off, another example natin dito yung doorknob, no? So, at saka mga railways, no? Kapag iniikot ang doorknob, for example, umiikot din yung axle sa loob at bumubukas yung latch. So, ganun ang principle nun. So, sa railway naman, so, pwedeng ang wheel and axle, ito yung system, nagpapadali sa paggalaw ng tren habang binabawasan ang frictions. So again, meron tong rotational motion. So technically, that will improve efficiency. What else? Naman, dito na tayo sa compound machine. So, ang mga compound machine is a combination. Take note, a combinations of two or more simple machines. So the simple machines can be put together in a different ways to make complex machinery. So again, ang compound machine is a combination of two or more simple machines. No, karamihan sa mga gamit natin ngayon ay compound machines dahil mas marami silang nagagawang gawain or mga tasks. So what are example of the compound machines? Again, we have the bicycles, we have the scissors, mga can opener, no? We also have an example of tank, no? So tank actually is a complex compound machine yan, no? So pinagsasama ng tank ang iba't ibang simple machines tulad ng wheels, axles, we have levers, okay, gears, at saka pulleys. So upang makagalaw at makapag-operate ng mahusay, no? So ibig sabihin dito sa tank na to, both translational and rotational motion occur simultaneously. Meron din tayong tinatawag na Mercedes V6 internal combustion engine. So itong example na to, so the engine this one converts the chemical energy to from chemical energy into mechanical energy. No, so ang ano nito, so kapag nasunog ang fuel dito sa Mercedes na to, gumagalaw ang piston nito pataas at pababa. So, anong motion yon? So, translational motion yon kasi pataas pababa. Tapos, ang crankshaft naman nito ay umiikot. So, that is rotational motion. So, anong purpose? Upang paandarin yung sasakyan. No? So, there is a conversion of translational motion into the rotational motions. So, lathe machine. So, a lathe rotates materials for shapings. So, ito naman, umiikot ang material na ba habang hinuhubog upang makagawa ng eksaktong hugis. So, sa bicycle, we have a bicycle combines several simple machines. So, example, wheel and axles, levers, ito yung brakes, no, gears, and the chain system. So, rotational motion of the wheel becomes translational motion of the bicycles. What else? Okay, so wala na.